We were born so full of hope. The world was big and new and beautiful, all ours to explore. And we explored. We watched and walked, ran and felt and tasted, and smelled and listened. We climbed and jumped and laughed and ran out to meet the world and life with our arms flung wide open. Hello, Denison Company? Yes, who's it calling, please? Right, hang on one moment. Then suddenly, somewhere along the line, we woke up. Go ahead, please. Life wasn't so great after all. Polish had worn off. It was the same old routine, day after day. About the only bright spots were meeting Rick for lunch. And the weekends when we were together. My parents didn't really approve of Rick. They wanted me to stay at home even though we didn't communicate too well.
You know, you should have gone into the insurance business.
I guess it was about 3 years ago, when I was 17, that I first realized that life and dreams could be so empty. I'd been wanting a car of my own, something to run around in. Then one day I received some money from my aunt, just enough for a deposit on my very first car. I knew it was mine as soon as I saw it in the yard. A white sports model, 4 on the floor, black interior with red leather seats. It was wild. It was just great driving behind the wheel, the wind brushing the hair from my face. I knew my friends would envy me. I felt really free, as if the whole world was mine. I couldn't wait to get home and show my new car to Mother and Dad.
Camellia bush, there's something wrong with
I
it.
think it's dying.
They're dying before they come out. Oh, look.
It's Julie's car.
Oh, she's got it at last.
Quick, come and try it out.
Well, really?
Not been, Mum.
We're good.
It's swish.
Yeah.
Should make you a happy girl now, huh?
Red leather seats.
Oh, terrific.
4 on the floor. They're really great and so
It's
far.
going all right, huh?
Somehow the excitement didn't last for very long. I began to realize that the car hadn't really kept me happy. It was just another thing. Life was the same as ever. No purpose. Just the old boring routine. No real reason for living.
Many other people have come to the same conclusion as Julie. When the excitement of being a new person wears off, they try to fill the emptiness with things. After all, most of us are collectors of things at some time or other. We store them around the house, in the wardrobe, on our bodies, and in the garage. We dream about them. Things. Things. Maybe if we get enough of them around us, we won't feel so empty. Then there are some who need more than just things. They need other escape routes, like drugs, a martini before dinner, or a cigarette to keep their hands busy. Anything to make them feel good. But these things don't work. They can't completely satisfy us. There's something missing. The coffee in the morning, sports cars, bank accounts, and vacation trips don't come close to filling the void, the feeling of emptiness. We pour 1,000 things into the hole, and it's just as empty as ever.
When I was in my last year of high school, Rick and I went to a beach party with some of the kids. It was summer vacation. We were all pretty bored. Tired of being hassled by our parents to get a part-time job. Just nothing much to do. One of the guys had some grass, and some of us hadn't tried it before. Rick passed me one, and I thought, well, why not? Anything for a kick. That was just the beginning.
But all's right with the world, isn't it? The older generation congratulate themselves on what good parents and citizens they are, and that they're entitled to a friendly night out at the local restaurant. If only it wasn't for the younger generation with their long hair and way-out clothes, everything would be okay. The kids just seem to be a bunch of dropouts who don't want to work, proclaiming they want a world of peace, not war, yet are afraid to face life as it really is. A generation that society thinks has no morals and no ambition, and who expect the old man to pay their freight so they can pursue peace, truth, love and beauty. Or could it be that the young of today are not without right and reason on their side? That society is in fact living in a fool's paradise, and that the burden lies squarely on its back? That perhaps, in fact, we all have become far too obsessed with the pursuit of material things. Or the goddess of success has captured us. Maybe our whole perspective on life needs to change. One of the escape routes from reality being used by the young and their elders alike is the abuse of various chemical preparations. In large cities or small towns, the story is the same. The drug pipelines are fed and spread like a spider's web over the entire fabric of society. A society that represents only one thing to the distributors and pushers: a marketplace, a source of immense profit with no regard for people. The real tragedy and a basic threat to society lies in the increasing dependency on drugs like alcohol, sleeping pills, pep pills, and, of course, marijuana, more commonly known as grass or pot. Just what pressures are leading young people to experiment with this drug have not been clearly determined. But what has been discovered is that blowing grass is involving increasingly younger age groups. 13, 14, and 15-year-olds are experimenting with drink and drugs, perhaps not realizing the possible consequences.
You realize he went to a stop sign back there? Have you been drinking? I'd like you both to get out of the car, please. I want you both to get in the back of the car, please. And I want you to take an alco test too, miss. Now you're both in real trouble. Possession of marijuana.
Julie was charged for driving with an excessive blood alcohol content, and they were both charged with being in possession of marijuana. As this was a first offense, they were released to the custody of Julie's parents, pending legal counsel and a court hearing.
Quite frankly, Julie, I'm too stunned and angry to think clearly. I can understand it happening to somebody else's daughter. But as for you, Julie, never. And as for you, Rick, I hold you fully responsible.
Oh, look, leave Rick out of this. He didn't hold a gun at my head. Look, I did it because I wanted to, and it was great. It's the first time I really felt free and happy since I was a kid.
Julie, how can you say that? Why, you know your father and I adore you. We both tried to give you everything.
Look, you've never cared, and you still don't. Look, you really don't want to know about me, do you? The only thing you're uptight about is what your friends will say. Come on, Rick, let's get out of here.
Julie!
Oh, I just don't understand. What I need is a drink. Well, Bob, I'm at a complete loss to explain the embarrassing situation that Julie has placed her mother and myself in. I've given her every advantage I could. I even helped to pay for the car that she bought. Now look what's happened.
Now, hold it a minute, Ken. I agree it's unpleasant for all concerned. But has it occurred to you that it's Rick and Julie who are in trouble, not you? So, shall we just try from there? Let's drop the drama and let's examine the facts. All right? All right. Now, since you first got in touch with me, that was the morning after Julie and Rick were arrested, I've been doing, together with my associates, a considerable amount of research.
When this yellow light comes on...
We've investigated data relating to alcohol, marijuana, and drugs in general. We found that in research centers around the world, statistics show that alcohol and many other drugs seriously affect driving ability. At Sydney University, I saw an electronic device employing varying colored lights and sound signals. It is able to measure perception, reaction time, and motor coordination. And these tests, which may seem unrelated to driving, do in fact test skills which are required in the complex task of driving a vehicle on the road.
I'm going to take the blood sample, Margaret.
The amount of alcohol in the blood was accurately checked before and throughout the tests. I found that deterioration in driving skills can be measured after drinking even the first glass of alcoholic beverage.
This is a test of complex reaction time. There are 3 signals here, Glenn. A white light.
Many single tasks are sensitive to alcohol, but more important is the situation where the person must do several things at the same time, a situation which occurs in driving.
Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Right.
Here, the effect of even small quantities of alcohol produces an exaggerated reduction in performance. Now, Julie and Rick, you've been driving not only after drinking alcohol, but also using marijuana. Research is continuing on this drug, but studies in Denmark and the United States, as well as Australia, New Zealand, and other countries, have shown that marijuana also affects the skills used in driving. Marijuana and even legal drugs like antihistamines and tranquilizers when taken with alcohol, mostly have a greater than 1 + 1 = 2 effect. It may be more like 1 + 1 = 5 or even 10.
I'd like you to just look straight ahead.
Other equipment demonstrated that body sway indicates a driver's reaction and coordination. The effects of alcohol and marijuana on these skills quickly shows up here. Now, some people believe that strong coffee helps sober them up for driving. This equipment has shown that coffee does not achieve this result. Coffee may produce a wide-awake drunk, but he is no less dangerous on the road. I think you'll both agree that getting a police charge for driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs is bad enough. But trying to drive thus impaired may have disastrous results.
What it boils down to, Julie, you too, Rick, is simply this. I intend to enter a plea of guilty on your behalf and request that you both be given suspended sentences as first offenders. Now, without any doubt at all, you, Julie, will have your driving license revoked for a period of 2 years, and you'll be placed under a good behavior bond for the same period. And because of the drug charge, the court may well require that you both undergo psychiatric examination. Now, Ken, I think that's enough for today. I'll be in touch with you before the court hearing.
For the last 3 years, I've been trying to help you understand yourself and the world we all live in. The importance of relating to people, which is what living is all about, not just doing your own thing. I really believed we were getting somewhere together. But in the last couple of months, all you've done is fight me.
Look, why should you care? My parents never did. Look, is it my fault I'm so screwed up? You're all a bunch of phonies. You front up to church 1 day a week and then drink and chase each other's husbands and wives around the other 6 days. And then slap some guy in the back just when you're blackballing him from some club or screwing him in a business deal. Who cares? And you think we're all no good. Well, I've got news for you. That just shows how screwed up the whole world really is.